Welcome everyone. We are our second Dark Souls 2 stream. I am ending up doing a stream tonight. Probably not a super long one. But I am gonna do it for a little while. We are starting in the Huntsman's Copse. And we also have the Grave of Saints area to explore. So this area is kind of just a wooded area. And the boss at the end of this, well, I think there might be two connected to this, but one is the Skeleton Lord. I can't remember. I think Executioner's Chariot may also... That's an optional boss, which may also be connected. Whoa, that's kind of a sick backstab. And I can't wait to play my favorite Dark Souls game. I've been so excited for this one, actually. As I've been telling the chat every single stream. Yes, Dark Souls 2 is definitely not my favorite. This is New Game Plus Plus. We are on New Game Plus 2. And yesterday I did like a 5.5 hour stream and did the first 9 areas and the first 8 bosses. Yeah, this is the grass crest shield. Oh shit, not this guy again. So extra stamina for me. Fuck you, This guy pisses me off. I know. I think I spent maybe the first hour and a half of my stream yesterday just non-stop talking about every difference in this game from Dark Souls 1 and from just like the series in general, so that anybody watching who like has never played it just is fully prepared. There was another one, I think. Oh well. One thing that I've been doing more... Is it up there? Oh my god, there's one all the way up there. Whee! Oh. Yeah, sounds good. Let me know if you find any cool updates. Beat it earlier today, and I'll probably be playing more soon in between streams. I just saw a Facebook post today where there was like comparing like 3 red bosses or something, and one of which I have not fought. So definitely there's probably still some hidden bosses around that I've got to find. Yeah, it was like a drip fest between Nightmare King Grim from Hollow Knight 1 and 2 bosses in Hollow Knight 2. Both red. And then I went and made a video of... I'm so excited. I'm fine to keep working on it. I feel like it was really relaxing, and it's like a really, really cool game. It's so much like snappier than Hollow Knight, and I've got 3 more areas to explore. And I don't know if I'm gonna try and platinum it, but I definitely am gonna try and get a lot more trophies than I have, and I really don't have that many. So there's, I know one of them is the Hunter's Journal, but there's probably it was very low percentage, so there's got to be a lot more than I don't know about. I know, it's It's literally like one of my favorite things is just like running as fast as I can across the stage and just like doing that like lunge attack up into the pogo and just seeing if how long I can stay airborne. And just like bouncing off the people over and over again. It's so much fun. When I was doing the run back to the final boss, it's very yeah, exactly. Yeah, these games are all just like very cozy and just like they're some of the hardest games out there. If you look up any like hardest video games to play, like you'll probably find at least 2 or 3 FromSoft games on there. But it's just like something relaxing about them when you get good at them. Voice louder, game quieter. Voice louder. Let me see. I don't know if it's connected to the microphone's volume or the TV's volume, and I haven't really gotten much feedback on how it sounds, so let me know if that changed anything. It sounds pretty loud for me in my headset. Like, when I was doing the last couple of streams for the Dark Souls 1 and everything, I can hear background things on this headset that I've literally never been able to hear. Bonking. Yeah. My bonk build. I will always do the bonk build in Dark Souls 2. Let me see if I can toy with it. Share screen. Let me see if there's a way to adjust it on the broadcast on Twitch. Captions. Interesting. I should be able to do it here on the... Well, let me I'm turning some things down, so let me see. It would be helpful to know, though, especially once yeah, you do with the PC, yeah. Which I'll be getting soon. I'm so excited. I gotta learn how to, I've been doing it so seamlessly on the PlayStation, I gotta learn how to stream on Twitch from the PC. On Steam. And you will never stand up again. Out. The one thing about the bonk build that's tough to manage is the weapon durability. If I hit walls in the ground and shit. So I've been carrying my handy dandy claymore. So if I have to switch mid-fight or something, then I can do that. Which I might switch to now. Like a little dance thing. Alright, so these guys will keep getting up when you kill them. I think it was that guy, but let me see. Yeah, I think it was that guy. Interesting. Kind of like Dark Souls 1. Try attacking. Thanks. Alright, now we can kill them permanently. So, Dark Souls 3 is definitely my favorite. As I've been saying, I'm very, very excited to stream Dark Souls 3. I just wanted to do them in order. And Dark Souls 2 is definitely my least favorite. I think I went over every... I think last stream I got... Oh, this guy just ran away from me. I think I got every single thing about it last stream that was different from the other Souls games or that I didn't like about it. And I did a stream a couple weeks ago where I was streaming the Burnt Ivory King, where I also went over a lot of the things that I don't like about this game. And Dark Souls 1 is like a fun little nostalgic game for me. It's like the bosses are not anything like ridiculous, but you can kind of see that there's a ooh, no, don't follow him. Okay, there's like a clear increase, I think, from the boss quality from Demon Souls to Dark Souls 1 that you can notice. Yes, less amazing, and it was not finished. But still very cozy, still a cool little foundation. The bosses are starting to progress in quality from Demon Souls. It is, I agree with you, more about the exploration. I think when I did my stream, I think almost every boss throughout the whole game I beat on the first try or first couple of tries until the DLC. So like, and the DLC like definitely ups the quality of some of the bosses, and some of those bosses are a little bit ahead of their time, I think. But I talked about this in my last stream. I feel like from Dark Souls 1 to Dark Souls 2, they improved some of the graphic speed and movement, while also decreasing the boss quality and time. So I personally feel like they went backwards a little bit from Dark Souls 1 to Dark Souls 2, but they definitely fixed that with Dark Souls 3. They're arguably some of the best bosses in all Souls. Yes, absolutely. Okay, good to know, good to know. I can't tell, I have a little thing on my mic that adjusts the sound, but I can't tell if it's just me hearing it, or if it's like how it sounds to other people. But listen. No, come back. How dare you go. Yeah, I was saying when I was doing the Dark Souls 1 stream that like every single area connects to every single other area, and there's so many loopbacks and things to explore and things to connect, with the downside being... Jendi, welcome! Yes, you did come in at the perfect time. We were talking about the difference between Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2. I know, Jendi, I know you like Dark Souls 2 a little bit more. But I was kind of talking about some of the differences, and then like as the Dark Souls series progresses, some of the changes they've made from 1 to 3. And Dark Souls 1 definitely has like a very congruent area-to-area like flow. You just have to unlock all the shortcuts. And one of the things I was saying, because I picked a Master Key as my first item in Dark Souls 1, and I was explaining to the chat how like a lot of the different areas you wouldn't be able to get at that point unless you chose the Master Key, but how that's a really useful because of that reason. Alright, Aiden, let me know how it goes. Aiden is playing Silk Song. Aiden beat it yesterday, I beat it today. There's still a whole lot to explore. More bosses and more secret areas. I didn't explain it, but those urns that I just rolled through, the one with the face painted on it, it causes curse buildup if you don't destroy them, and you can just like roll through them. Am I gonna platinum Silk Song's very good question. I was telling Aiden that I'm definitely going to play more of it and try and get more trophies. I tried very, very hard to platinum Hollow Knight. I'm at 91%, but I am stuck on the Pantheon of Hollow Nest, which has every single boss in the game, plus some harder versions of the bosses that you fought previously. So I'm at 91% of that, and I tried to platinum it. Silk Song, I'll probably give a half-hearted attempt to platinum. I think I saw some of the trophies you have to do, like, run through the game in, like, I don't know, like 3 hours or something, and there was some, like, trophies of how fast to beat the game, and those don't sound like my absolute favorite to do, but I'm definitely gonna trophy hunt for a little while. One of the ones I really like to get is the Hunter's Journal one, where you kill every enemy, and then you have to kill every enemy in time to unlock this, like, full journal entry. And I like all sorts of games that do that. Like, another example is like the Final Fantasy series has like, you have to like encounter and defeat each type of enemy to get into the theory. I like games that do that, so I probably will do that and get that trophy. And then just like kind of like maybe look up some of the other trophies. So I will do my best to get as close to the platinum as possible. That being said, there are still bosses I haven't even beaten. I I definitely missed some. There are 3 different areas that I haven't unlocked yet, so I will be playing that more. I did stream that a little bit early on, but then decided to do like more like the whole game, like whatever game I'm streaming, do like the whole game through. Oh no! That's telling for you. I wonder, I'm curious. I saw, there's a boss that I saw today that I haven't fought that's like, I think I've seen full spoilers for that I want to find somewhere in the game. Wow, that's a tall tale. Or a tall tale. A tall order. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really curious which one it is. Is it the red one? Like, is its body red? Probably not. It was red. Okay. I have to find that one. I want to find it. Because I've seen, I think, 2 different spoilers. One of which was commenting on a couple of the bosses being very dramatic. And one of them was comparing like a bunch of different red bosses in the Hollow Knight series, one of which was Nightmare King. Alright, I'm just going in circles here, aren't I? Ooh, one of the coolest visual designs. I like how this is. Good luck, soldier. I'm gonna try and kill the skeleton lords, I think. Wait, I died, so I have... So much for this game. It's so much fun. That's one boss down this stream. I have, like I said, I can't remember, but I think the Executioner's Chariot, which is an optional boss, is also in this general area. And also last stream I rolled down the well to access the Greater Saint, so we have a run to the Royal Rat Vanguard. literally worse than the skeleton lords, because they're just like, okay, game design, not one skeleton, not two, but just a whole bunch of skeletons. Let's make that the boss fight. And then with the Royal Rat Vanguard, they're like, okay, same idea, but rats. Okay, this is Harvest Valley. I'm gonna go back to... Technically, this area is before Grave of Saints in Order, but I'm gonna go back to the bridge approach. I didn't really get a good exploration on that cave there, and also, I think like it was this area, Executioner's Chariot. That boss I think is interesting. It's kind of like a gimmicky type boss, but then you like actually fight an enemy, and I think that one's kind of cool. I think I like missed that fight for a very long time when I first fight it after I was like near end game, because I didn't find it and didn't know about it. I think it's up here. Yeah. So if you come up here, there's an item over here. Watch out for somebody's. These guys are kind of pretty aggressive. There's a good chunk of them blocking the run back to this boss, especially if you're playing on New Game Plus 1 or 2. There's extra. Item over here. Ooh, I missed another item. Oh, that's the one from the jump, right? Yeah, that's the one from the jump that I didn't get. So there's a notched whip over here for dex builds. I'm just gonna run through this because there's a bunch more of those guys. And the red ones are for New Game Plus. I think no. I feel like I remember this being like there's a summon up here, but I don't remember actually fighting. So I'm gonna draw. This guy's a NPC invader type guy. So they're all gonna catch up to you. And remember, Dark Souls 2 has the strict fog wall thing. Just barely made it in time. That chariot is going to be going around and around this area, and all these skeleton guys are going to pop up, and there's going to be little cubbies. Hide them so you don't get hit with any damage. It will hit the skeletons, and you do want to kill these guys, because they're the ones making the skeletons continue to spawn. But basically, I'll show you the strategy when I get back there. But basically, you want to kind of slowly advance in that area, taking out some of the sorcerers, so the skeletons will die permanently, and avoiding getting tanked by that horse chariot. Pop this so I can get some of my health back, and also I was curious if there was a summon for that fight or not. kind of see him sitting up there. That's kind of cool. Dark Souls 2 is known for its horrible runbacks, in my opinion. I was saying that the other night. I feel like Bloodborne has like some long, unnecessary runbacks, but Dark Souls 2 has like some very dangerous, fraught runbacks. Oh, I'm not gonna make it. Wait. Ugh, it's so annoying, because, like, I could sit there and fight each one by one, but by the time I get to the boss, I'm gonna have way less Estus, and I could at least take out that invader guy, because he doesn't respawn. That would make it a little bit easier, actually. Maybe I'll do that. Because I only need to take him out on one boss run back, and then when I run past all of those other guys, I can at least just go into the fireball. I love that for you, that sounds awesome. This is what I'm saying though, these guys are so aggressive. Alright, I might have estimated how much Estus I was going to use here. Really? That's super high praise. I wonder where it is and what it's like. Alright, sounds good. Ah yes, my favorite mechanism in this game, getting hit mid-heal after you've already healed, but you're still healing. The fight out. See, even just this so much has used maybe a third, around almost a third of my weapon durability. Because I see, like, right here, even when I squish them like this, it's the ground. Hey! Cool. Well, I'm happy to show you. This area is the run back to the Executioner's Chariot. Yeah, as expected, we're getting low on getting a little lower on Estus, under half of weapon durability, but I'm gonna try and take out the NPC guy just so that when I do, if I do a run back again. Oh my god. See that right there? Perfection. That's why we love these games. That's why we play them. Yeah, you're so right. That's going on the YouTube. That's gonna be 1,000 hours of Dark Souls meme. So, like, hypothetically, if I just ran past everybody and try and Rambo the NPC, what are my chances? Just like, out of curiosity. Cracks like I did. There's no way they kept up with that well. Wait, wasn't all of them though? Is that really? Okay. Well, I would have only had 2 of them to fight. Thank you, Aiden, I appreciate that. Yep, I did do that. I fell down once again. Nope, it was a new experience. Yeah, I found another hole, so you know, I'm really just an explorer. You know, like Lewis and Clark. Want to map the land, get the topography, you know. Is that a rogue too? This game isn't real. Ugh. The funny thing about these games is, like, the runbacks, like, how awful they are is not even close to how proportionate the actual bosses are. And this is something that I was talking about on my last stream, just like this game having some of like the most infuriating areas and run backs, but then the boss quality and difficulty being not really comparable, because you can kind of abuse like the broken leveling system in this game to get really like over leveled. So you come through all this crazy shit, and then you finally get to the boss, and you do like insane damage on them, and it's like over pretty quickly. Exactly. The boss design. It's just very low quality in this game. They tried to have quantity over quality, because this game has the most bosses. Oh shit! I think it's oh my god! Come on, give me a squish. So it has a lot of bosses, especially if you're including all 3 DLCs, which is also the most DLCs in any of the Dark Souls games, because Dark Souls 3 has 2 and Dark Souls 1 has 1. But just in general, like their actual design is kind of sloppy. And it's one in this game also, another thing, I think another reason why it might not be my favorite too, is it has just so many gank fights. And as I said in like almost all my streams, I hate gank fights. They are my least favorite, and this game has so many, but they're not even like all quality, because you've got the Ruined Sentinels, you've got Belfry Gargoyles, not a very original fight, but it's a very challenging fight. But then you'll have bosses like the Skeleton Lords, like I just fought, the Royal Rat Vanguard, Prowling Magus and Congregation. Like that's a boss? Like really? Because I feel like they just throw a whole bunch of regular enemies together. Like that counts as a boss. I think we can push these guys here. Oh my god, they all follow. They do so much damage. Oh! Come on. Wow, that's skin of my teeth. Alright. We'll take it. Summoner guys up here. So many skeletons. Oh my god, I don't remember there being that many. I was gonna draw them away out into the road and then quickly dodge into the little nook there with the sorcerer, but too slow. In the settings. Let me squish this. Sound effect volume. Aha! Oh, that's a little, maybe one more notch up, but I think I found it. And the music. Music. Oh, sweet. Okay. Maybe that's... Does it sound better now? I was... Because I was trying to do the audio settings on Twitch. But I wasn't finding a good way to do it. And I can adjust my own microphone, but... It's already coming in, like this sounds way quieter for me now, so. Okay. Sounds good. There's an item down there. Yeah, it's really, yep, it's garbage. Come on. Got it. You kind of have to calculate the timing of how much time you're going to need to get in the wall. Same thing with what I was saying the other stream on the healing. You have to give, like, probably what you would normally give distance-wise for Dark Souls 1 or 3. You have to kind of give, like, double that in this game. Because it takes so long to heal, and then even when you like, actually drink the Estus, it continues to slowly heal your health, and if they hit you while it's still healing for more damage than you have healed, you die. So, with one Sorcerer dead, I think whatever skeletons he kept invincible will die after a few of these runbacks. And then the second one, hopefully, because of the patient, I'm not going to make it. Alright. You don't get paid more for running faster. There. Alright, so right here, I think, is the trick to this boss. How are they hitting me while I'm doing that? You put that gate down and then he crashes into it. And that stops the chariot from going around and around in a circle. And then you can fight it, assuming you don't have 10 million skeletons still to fight. Alright, so I'm going into the horse with 2 Estus. Confidence. He does have like a horse kickback thing if you're directly behind him, right there. If you're in front of him, he shoots you with the his dark blasts. Melee. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate it. I'm gonna take this opportunity to heal. Oops. Okay, so don't get too far away. He'll do a charge attack like right there. But while he's mid blasting you with that dark stuff, you can do some damage. And that's the fight. We don't use life gems anymore. Thank you, though. Woohoo! Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm saying. I went into the horse part of that with, what, 2 Estus? And actually, if you watch my old Dragon Slayer video, I went into him with 3 Estus and managed to pull out the win. But it's just like that run back is awful. It's so bad. I don't mind that boss. It's kind of like an interesting gimmick. I'm not always the biggest fan of the gimmick fights, but also for the people doing the platinum and getting trophies, as I was saying in last stream, I was showing you all the different covenants. This is another covenant you can get. I think this is the 5th one, I think, that I've pointed out, and a unique one because it's in an optional area.
What is it? Oh, you trot along home. This place won't be any fun. No. What is it? Oh.
You might have to do something specific, though, for that guy. Also, I think one of these... I feel like one of these opens or moves, but you might have to do something specific.
What is it? Oh.
Since his dialogue is not really changing. But that is a covenant, so if you're trying to get the platinum, that's one to do. All right, so I don't think there's anything. Hell yeah, you treat me like a podcast any day. I like streaming. You can. I didn't really explore that cave in depth, but I don't think there's. Oh wait, actually, I lied. There's an NPC over there that I want to show you guys. Remember how I said when we met Pate in the last stream that there are 2 NPCs that are like hate each other and are like constantly fighting, and their quest lines are kind of tied together. Well, the other one you find is here. So we'll go do that before we move on. So we got 2 bosses down. One thing I am really enjoying, kind of like how I was enjoying learning how to parry in the Bloodborne game for kind of like the first time this past run through. I've been really enjoying using the bow and arrow in this game. It's like the first time I've really used it, besides like specific areas that I have to, like the Guardian Dragon. But it's kind of fun. I did a little bit more in Dark Souls 1 too. Yeah, so the poison that's coming down is from these butterfly guys. You can shoot them to get rid of it. They do respawn though. Take that. Get away from me. But you do get some souls from them, so. And poison moss, you can farm off of them. These guys are really tanky, but I find them enjoyable to fight. This is true. So this one you can come in right now, which I did before, but the other one over there, you have to, there's an item in there, right there, and you have to get through it from the back. I think it's through the cave, which we didn't really finish exploring when I was on the run back to the Skeleton Lords. This one you can go into as well. That's where we found the lever. I want to say it's here. Yeah, okay, so I don't really remember picking up that key, but there's another bonfire over here, and this is the NPC I was talking about right here by the skeletons. He's the other NPC along with Pate, who have like kind of a
Who are you?
co-occurring quest line.
I thought you were that bastard for a moment.
So he's already talking shit about
You've
it.
set me free. Now I can find him. The cheeky prick. He won't know what hit him.
He's clearly very upset.
I am Creighton of Mirror. I travel from land to land to hone my blade. I've heard this land was full of danger. I thought it would suit me perfectly. I joined forces
So
with
he's
a man
also
on the
from
way.
Mira, just like
But he was
Lucatiel.
no more
He
than a
says pretty much the
backstabbing
same
knave.
thing.
He took the first chance he had to try and off me. I decided to set a trap for him here. But then I got trapped myself.
And he's talking about Pate here.
I can't believe that I was so dense. Thank the stars that you came along. You be careful of him. Pate, I think he said. He wears this rather unusual ring. You'll know it when you see it. I've seen his type before. He kills entirely for the pleasure of it. I'm sure I won't be his last victim. He's a slick talker, so don't let him fool you.
Thank you for the advice, sir.
Pate. And don't. I'll find it.
So make sure you exhaust his dialogue. I think if you do both of their quests correctly, they will both end up in Brightstone Cove, that area. I think that's what it's called. That will be like where their quest ends, like wraps up. Why, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I like regaling the audience with details that I've acquired through my many times playing these games. I think this is number, let's see, New Game Plus Plus number 4? Fourth time playing Dark Souls 2? Because I've played each of them once on Xbox, and then I got it on PlayStation, and then whatever new game I'm on is how many times plus 1. Alright, so I'm going to crack a flame butterfly here. And dodge these guys because they're still immortal framed right now. But I'm going to light up the cave so we can see better. And because I like lighting everything up. Oh, I didn't even know you could like that. sad. It's okay, we'll come back. And all those torches that we lit will still be lit. So we have to go around the other side anyway because you have to kill the sorcerer guy to make so that you can kill those skeletons, and he's on the other side of that metal bar, which I think there was probably a lever for when I went there before, but I didn't find it immediately before I died, so or I had to like retreat. I really like the follow-up attack on this club. I feel like it makes it a little easier to kind of like melee with such a giant club. Squish. My souls. So we gotta go around. Dang. Whip that giant club around real quick. Oh, come on. On New Game Plus, one spawns in front of you there, but one also spawns behind you, so they kind of close in on you. It's very unlucky. But we have... Wait, is this where I went? No. We have a solution. I'm gonna take... What the hell? We're gonna take the path around, up and around. Where we killed the invader. So I don't have to deal with them. These rogues and their bows are bad enough as it is. I think you can, yeah, right off here to the left. That way we'll drop behind the guy and won't get trapped. Where is he? Well, we're kind of trapped in here, so this is our last stand. But these guys can be killed now, so. Combustion, okay, that's a spell you get from him, and a Titanite shard. Take this. Bring it over here. There was a crystal lizard thing over here, but I missed it. And now I can do the lever. So this will be open next time I come through. And item right here. You'll have to jump to get it. Make sure you stick the landing because you do extra rolling. I think I'm all good here. Oh wait, my souls. Alright, next we are going to the Grave of Saints. We can circle back around and do Harvest Valley afterwards. So I got this one, you get this area when you roll down the well with the Silver Cat ring. Oops. There are a lot of rats. I love that for you. I would come to the wedding. I'm really glad that you're like super enjoying Silksong. That's really cool to see. The Hollow Knight series is one of my favorites, along with these games. These games being just From Software games. I mean, Dark Souls 3 is my favorite though. You didn't want this heat? Okay, so this area has a ton of different Pharos Lockstone things. Yeah, I went back. I'm glad. I'm glad this one's clicking so that you like get into one of them. Yeah, so this area has a ton of Pharos Lockstones, and as I showed you guys in the first stream, if you have that item, you can use it, and it usually unlocks like a secret area or a hidden loot or something. But this is the first area in the game that you can realize that some of them are actually, in fact, useless or like a trick, because a lot of these don't actually do anything. Like you end up wasting your Pharos Lockstone, so you have to kind of know. In so many ways, it's so many ways this is true. One of the things I was saying to the stream yesterday at the beginning of the playthrough is I think this is the first game that really emphasizes like how many times you're supposed to die. They say it like so many times in the intro when you're talking to the like original Firekeepers there, and they go so far in this game as to even have a bronze trophy for the first time you died, saying like this is Dark Souls. I know you wouldn't. And so this game like really emphasizes like the frustration and the cruelty of these games at times, and it feels like it's on purpose, like very like more so than some of the other games. But yeah, what my friend Aiden said, I'm not afraid to use a guide, and most video games I play, I do use guides if I'm stuck on something. And I would never, knowing that these can waste that item, like just randomly go around and testing them out. But thankfully we have people who were similarly like Expedition 33 have come through these games before us and have tested out all this stuff. So You can just look up a guide on like what some of those, like which ones are actually real and which ones are not. I believe the one on the first floor that was directly in front of the empty bridge was real. But whatever item or was over there, I probably already got, so. This is, you know, God, this has got to be one of my favorite Souls bosses of all times. The game design, the difficulty level, you know, just, it's purely unique. The Royal Rat Vanguard, so that will be the boss we do next. So we're in this little area with a lot of rat statues and a ton of rats. There's no boss health bar at the moment, but shortly there will be. And what happens is you can kill all these rats, but there will be a couple unique rats. Yes, I am monologuing about the boss. Yes, sorry, I use a lot of sarcasm in my streams. It's just something about me. So basically one of the... I moved from sarcastically shitting on the boss to actually providing education on it. There will be unique rats that come in a second here, and you can tell that they are different than the others. Just, I think they're a little bigger, but also they have like extra tufts of hair on the nape. And those are the ones you want to hit for the health. I think they don't show up until you actually kill a couple of these guys. You have to have killed a couple, like a certain amount of these rats before the main rats will come out. And at that point, the health bar will come out too. There we go. The rats also do, I think, poison build-up. So right there, this guy right here, see, he's got a little bit extra hair on his back. Oh my god. It's not poison, it's some other sort of... Oh, it's just the one? Alright, so that was the Royal Rat Vanguard, everybody. For some reason I thought there were more than just the one. Obviously I'm very over-leveled and doing a lot of damage, but... yeah, man, for so long when I played this game, I would just shit on this boss. This boss particularly, because I'm just like... it's just a bunch of rats, like... And not only that, but it's not even the only rat boss in this game. There's another one. Anyway, continuing on in our segment of different covenants you can join, there was an item that I picked up earlier called the Rat's Tail. I think one of the rats drop it. If you get that, you can come over to this rat. Human. He's not an enemy. You don't have to kill him.
Humans bring
you can actually join this rat covenant if you give him the rat tail, and that's a trophy you can get. If you're trying to get the platinum. Yes, there are in fact 2 shitty rat bosses. I at the very least like the second one. There's a bunch of tiny little rats as well that are really annoying. But I at least like the second rat boss is like a big rat. So that one's at least a little bit better for me once you kill all the little ones, because you get to just fight a big rat. But even so, this is like, this is low bar. This is like picking at straws for this game. Yeah, it's a tiny bit better. I mean, so this, I'm not going to join it just because I've gotten all of them, but just so you know, this is another covenant you can get. I did the same thing in Dark Souls 1 with the streams. I would go through and show all the covenants. And then if you come down here, you can descend into the area that you came in. You get a Pharaoh's Lockstone there, a bit of platforming. my friend Aiden, who's in the chat right now. I'm gonna give Killer Aiden big props to him. He's the one that got me into these games, introduced me to Dark Souls 3 back in 2023, I think, when we were living together, and my love of the Souls games blossomed from there. But the reason I bring it up is he's also the one that taught me how to platform well, because I think when I first started these games, I would just like aggressively jump off of the things and die a whole lot, and he was literally just like, dude, you have to line it up. And I'm just like, oh. And from then on, it clicked. You just have to like line up where your character's pointing, and platforming becomes easy after that. Easier, at least. I think you have to jump for that item right there, but I really couldn't be bothered to do that at the moment. So I'm going to come down over here. Just so you know, that item is there, and you can jump to get it. There's also another jump opportunity here for a chest. Hell yeah. I mean, honestly, it was life-changing in the video game world. I love these games. They're awesome. I've played through them so many times. I've platinumed a lot of them. So if you fall down here, there's those exploding guys again, and there are these really annoying PvP guys. There's a miracle right there for collecting all the spells and the platinum. Opposite me, there's another, like behind me, there's another little cave entrance where there's a chest, I believe. But I'm just gonna come down here. And make sure if you want to check that chest, you run and do that before. And if you want to kill the NPC guys, you probably get human effigies. Oh, am I going down to the Gulch? Is that where this is taking me? Ugh. Speaking of terrible areas, I think it is. So as I was saying on my other stream, I think it was it in Dark Souls 1 that I was saying this? Can't remember. I think it was in Dark Souls 1, but every Souls game, or yeah, I think pretty much every Souls game is known for like at least one terrible area, and many of the times it's like a swamp or like swamp-esque. In Dark Souls 1, it was Blight Town, and then Tomb of the Giants was also pretty on par for being one of the worst areas. In Dark Souls 2, it's the gutter, which then leads down to the Black Gulch. And I remember specifically going back to play the Demon Souls remake for the very first time, having played all these other games first, and then just like finding the origin of this trend, and honestly being one of the actual worst ones. I can't remember what it was called, but there was this giant swamp in Demon Souls that was so much worse than even these ones. Yes, it's so bad. I just remember it being like soul sucking. It was terrible. That one, I don't remember the name of the place, but I remember there's like boardwalks running through like a giant lake that leads into another giant lake, and it's just like it's terrible. And I think it is a boss run back, yeah. But yeah, it's the graphic wise, chef's kiss, but it just makes the horror that much more vivid. But ever since that game, they've kind of run with this trend that we're gonna make at least one area be like absolutely heinous, and it's usually a swamp. So this is, like I said, this is the area for Dark Souls 2, and then Dark Souls 3, it's Farron Keep. Farron Keep is probably the least aggravating one for me personally, but it's like basically a giant poison swamp that does poison build-up damage. And they pretty much have an area like that in at least every Dark Souls game. Okay, I kind of just fell down into this area, and I'm not really sure where it connects. So similarly to No Man's Wharf in this game, this area is another one that you want to be like running through with your torch and lighting up all of the different torches for visibility. These are the torches. I'm gonna pop a flame butterfly. This area becomes a lot more reasonable when you can see more. So these are the torches, and I also it's like a little scavenger hunt for me. I actually like No Man's Wharf is one of my favorite places to just run through and like find all the different torches. So yeah, you can do the same thing in this area. I don't think there's any specific intrinsic reason to do this other than to see better, but they do stay lit even after you reload the area, so it does help. Oh god. Not the exploding guys. I promise you guys I'm going to try and find good things about Dark Souls 2 and highlight them when I do see them. There are things I like about this game, but I have to try a little harder to find them. One of them is abusing the leveling system and just like tanking bosses. It makes me feel like a god. What was that, my word? And there are some areas I really like in this game. Dog. This is not one of them. Although I do like lighting up the torches, like I said. I think the best bosses in this game are in the DLC. Sadly, I don't think I'm going to be streaming the DLC just because I literally just did the DLC to get some boss videos right before doing the stream idea. Those boss videos are up on YouTube, though, for all the DLC bosses. But I think the best bosses in this game, as far as like design and difficulty, are in the DLC. It's interesting because in the DLC, in my opinion, the best bosses of this game. Oh yeah. Thank you. I forgot about that. He's right. Looking Glass Knight is actually a pretty goated design boss in this game. I actually really like that fight. I totally forgot about it. There's so many bosses in this game. It's easy to forget some of them because I actually also don't mind Velstadt. He is a little bit of a kind of a copy from the guy who guards Maiden Astrea in Demon Souls, but I do like that fight. But yeah, Looking Glass Knight from the base game is probably the best one, and then the other best bosses I think are all in the Crown of the Old Iron King DLC, which also happens to be like one of the most frustrating areas. Yeah, Sir Elan. They redo the Smelter Demon, that one's not as much my favorite, but they also have the Fume Knight, which I think is known to be one of the favorite bosses in this game. So those bosses are pretty cool. I will say though, like some of the runbacks to those bosses, or just like that area itself, because I just recently played it, was so frustrating. It was even more frustrating than the other DLC places, minus the worst runback in all of Souls, which is for Ludden Zealand. in the frozen place, the Ivory DLC. Yeah. So I think I wasn't streaming when I did that, but I did get the boss video for it, and I put it on YouTube. But basically, with that run back to Sur Elan, it is absolutely awful. And one of the things I pointed out that's different from this game than the other Dark Souls games last stream is that if you kill enemies a certain amount of time in this game, they don't respawn even after resetting at the bonfire, which is unlike any of the other games. But for the Sur Elan run back, I know, like, watching a lot of YouTube videos and stuff of people doing that run back. People will specifically grind that area until there are no more enemies, just to make that run back a little bit more manageable. It's pretty bad, and that's what I'm saying. Like, this game, not only does it have the single most frustrating, difficult run back in all of Dark Souls, or all of the Souls game, but it has a lot of different frustrating run backs. Furnace Knights. Samurai. The original Smelter Demon, like the first one that they do. Yeah, we'll get there. Yes. We'll get there, don't you worry. There is a big, like, lava, fiery castle place that we're gonna get to in this game at some point, and basically the same enemies that were plaguing the Sur Elan run back, the Elan Knights, are in that area, which is the run back to the Smelter Demon. And basically, they on-site you, like, when they see you, they do this, like, really fast, rapid step, and do this really fast, like, little sword attack on you. And then there's always so many of them, and so, like, every time you kill, I remember just, like, comically standing there, killing one, waiting, because I knew another one would be coming, and there'd be, like, 5 or 6 of them before you can proceed. You do end up getting, like, the full Elan set of equipment because you have to kill so many of them, so that's, I guess, a plus. Where Harville's resting place, grave entrance? Where was the bonfire? I did get the bonfire, right, for the gutter? That would be really sad if I didn't get it. I don't... Did I not get it? I did kind of fall around a little bit when I first got down there, but I thought I got it. No? Damn it. Alright, I have to go all the way back down. The long way. I swear I got the bonfire. I don't see it, though. Yeah, so that'll be... I can't remember... I'm, like, forgetting all the names of the places. But... Oh, I gotta do this shit again. Yep. That tracks. It's okay, it's not like I needed to level up anyway, guys. It's fine. I don't need my souls. Yeah, I think Looking Glass Knight. Let's see. Let me see. Velstadt. I don't mind. I like that one. The final bosses are not good either in this game. Like, even the pre-boss to the final boss, and the secret final boss. Honestly, none of those are good either. Okay, so I fell down the wrong way, but I'll show you. Oh, no, I didn't. I'm gonna need to see your map when you're done with all this. That's awesome, though, that there's still that much of the game to play. Honestly, it's probably for the best, because the DLC won't be out for a while, so to have different areas to explore, and like I like to get the trophies. So I'm so mad at myself. I was playing Silksong when it came out, right before I decided to get into streaming and making content. That's awesome. And I was just kind of like playing through the game as I normally would the first time, but like I think I started streaming and doing content and stuff like right after getting a little ways into Silksong, and I fucking forgot to, like, I didn't take a boss. I don't know why, but because sometimes I will just for fun, but I didn't take a boss video of some of the first bosses in that game, and one of which being two of which being I think Mother Splinter it's called, which for some reason a lot of people were complaining about that and wanting it to be nerfed when that game came out, but I didn't see. I beat it on first try. But Widow, which was probably the hardest boss I fought in Act 1, and a really good fight, I didn't get the video of, so I'm like super annoyed at myself for that. But after a certain point, I started getting a video of everybody. I did get a video of Phantom, which was probably the most fun fight in the game for me so far. So that one was cool. But I gotta go back and like when I get my PC or something and like grab a video of those guys that I missed. Phantom. She's kind of like similar build as Lace. Has like a sword. You might have actually missed that one because there are two ways to get into. For anybody playing Silksong, there are two ways to get into Act 2 and the Citadel. You can take the front entrance, which involves going through the blasted steps and fighting the last judge, who also was a tank. That boss was tough. Or you can take the back entrance and you go up through. Oh, I forgot what it's called. I'm so bad with the names right now. There's like this steam area, and there's like a back entrance to the Citadel. Yeah, and you fight Phantom. So you can either fight the last judge in the front entrance or Phantom in the back entrance to get into the Act 2 in the Citadel. I actually, by accident, stumbled upon the back entrance, and I actually beat Phantom first to get into the Citadel and find the Grand Beltway like travel spot. And then I specifically looked up some of the bosses before I moved on to Act 2 to make sure I didn't miss any, and I did miss the last judge and one other, so I had to like go find the blasted steps and like go back and do that fight. Even though I already had access to Act 2, I wanted to make sure I fought the last judge, and it was worth it because that fight was, I had to do over and over and over again. That fight was hard. Okay, so I don't know why, for some reason. Yeah, you got to go fight Phantom. That one was my favorite fight, and we've had pretty similar opinions so far on Silksong. So I feel like Phantom, as far as difficulty, is somewhere in between Lace and Widow, but kind of a similar build. And it just was like, and there's like a piano in the background, like she's playing a piano when you come in. It's like so cool. So that one was probably my favorite fight so far. The final boss was pretty cool. I feel like, without spoiling I guess too much anybody who hasn't played it, the final boss is very similarly modeled to the final boss in Hollow Knight, or like the secret final boss in Hollow Knight. They have similar designs and like attack patterns, but like this game has like better graphics and like a little bit snappier movements, and so that was like a sick fight. How the fuck did I come down here? Yeah, I really liked the design of the final boss, and it felt like taking Radiance from Hollow Knight and like kind of improving upon that fight, and I thought that was really cool. I almost made Phase 2 first try, but then I kind of just tried to fight it over and over again just to learn the move patterns really well, and because I knew it was the last boss. I came down a really weird way for some reason the last 2 times, and I think I bypassed the bonfire, which is why I didn't get it. I don't know what I did. So I don't know. I know there's a second bonfire, but I missed the first one. I got distracted talking about how awesome Silksong is. For anybody who hasn't played that, you should go out and try it. I've been playing that in between my streams, just because I didn't want to, because I was already, like, part of the way into the game when I started streaming. I didn't want to just, like, stream from where I was at. I kind of wanted to just explore off stream, but I might do, I know, you've been, like, no-lifing and that, locked in. It's a great game. It really is. If I wasn't doing the Soul streams, I probably would have been exclusively playing that one, but so I might at some point go back and like redo it and do a stream of that when I get my PC. I do need to grab some of the videos, but I will say though, at some point I'm thinking of doing a stream of Black Myth Wukong. I feel like I need a little bit of motivation to get through that game and to finish it, and so I think streaming is going to help with that. 6 hours straight, that's awesome. You've been texting me like this last week. I'm like, do you work? Like you've had so many opportunities to play this game. It's awesome. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I probably will do a stream at some point. Yeah, do your work. I'll be mom. Oh shit. Okay. Honestly, good. Because I need to come back down and find the first bonfire. But I mean, that's kind of what I've been doing. To be fair, I mean, I work long hours. Dude, same. Honestly, I work generally at my first job as a therapist. My first job as of gaming is my second job. Hopefully soon. Like, probably my hours are like 10 to 7, 10 to 8 during the first few days of the week. But I've literally been coming home and rushing to grab food and, like, shit, and then just get right to streaming. And I've been doing that for, like, the last 2 weeks straight. So, I feel you on that one. I've been staying up till probably like midnight 1 every night. Man, I've been streaming so much, honestly. I did a 5.5 hour stream yesterday of Dark Souls 2. That was after doing a 3.5 hour stream of Dark Souls 1, and I played Silksong in between those 2 streams yesterday, so a little bit of exposing myself there. I kind of gamed all day yesterday, so yeah, I put up my final stream for Dark Souls 1 yesterday, and then did the first stream for Dark Souls 2, so this is stream number 2. Where did it go? How long have I been streaming tonight? Hour and 40? I think you're safe on this one. I don't think she's watching this. But yes, the commitments of being in a relationship, I no longer have that obligation. So, nothing holding me back. This is my relationship, streaming. This is who I come home to. Alright. Where the fuck from here is the bonfire? lit up all those areas. I feel like it's over here. Like in that dark void. We're gonna find out. No, this is where I keep landing every time. Yeet. What the hell is it? Yes. Yes, I did. And if that was your first time dying in Dark Souls 2, you will get a trophy for that. If you're trying to get the platinum. Make sure you don't miss that trophy. It'll be really difficult. It's very missable. Can you imagine? There's no way. Even the very best gamers, there's no way that that would be like you just accidentally go through Dark Souls 2 without dying. Alright, so since I'm clearly committed to dying over and over again without finding the bonfire, I will show you, if I don't die here, which I probably will. So behind that knight guy is a chest. I promise. It is kind of funny, though, if you think about it, that there's a whole, like, grave area where they worship rats, and there's, like, a little rat kingdom and rat monarchy. The B team really took that one away there. You know, I bet they just, like, sat around smoking one night and was like, dude, you know what would be awesome? Rats. And thus, 2 areas in this game were born. Alright, so this is the chest. Dude, you gotta get back into streaming. You gotta reignite your streaming days so that you can do some collabs with me and you can show the world how great Silk Song is. I'm probably also not gonna stream Hollow Knight anytime soon, or Lives of P. Those are games that I would normally stream because they're some of my favorite games out there. But I kind of just recently have been running them a lot to try and right before I got into my streaming, I was doing platinum chasing, and I was like trying to platinum several of those games at a time, and so I probably won't stream them anytime soon just because I need a break from those games, but maybe at some point. I know a lot of people are streaming Lies of P right now. That's one of my favorite games as well. Can I say what again? That I probably won't be streaming Lies of P or Hollow Knight, like the first one, anytime soon, because I was trying to platinum them a lot before this, and so I kind of got tired of playing them, so at some point maybe those will be also on the list. Yeah, I mean, at some point I would do it just to stream it, like to stream a run through of it, kind of like how I'm doing with these games. Same with Lies of P, because I know a lot of people, you know, some streamers that I watch stream Lies of P, so especially with the DLC dropping this past summer, that might be another fun game to stream at some point, but I don't think it's I don't think those ones are next up anytime soon on my list, and also just because they're like some of my favorite games. Like at some point, I would want to stream them. Worth a shot. So the item that I got there in that chest was actually really important for first-time players. It's the Sublime Bone Dust, and when you burn that at a bonfire, you increase how much Estus you heal. So just make note of that. That's there. Yeah. So I played it today just to beat the Radiance and put a video up of that because I didn't have a video of it, and it literally felt like I was drunk playing it. It was like so slow compared to Silksong, but it took me a second, but then I did kind of adjust to it a little bit. I feel like if I like did a full run through of that game again on stream, then I'd get used to it a little bit more. And also I feel like streaming the games gives me a little bit more motivation to play them again, or play them in general. But definitely not anytime soon. I kind of was banging my head against the wall, not literally, but metaphorically, trying to platinum that game and do the Pantheon of Hollow Nest, and I just couldn't get it. I got it to like I think the third to last boss in the gauntlet, but like you can pretty much run the whole gauntlet up until the false champion without too much difficulty, but then you got to get through that one, and there is a trick to that one, but then you have to get through I think it's Markoth or whatever, one of the dream nail enemies, and that one's a little challenging. But once you get to the very end, you have to beat Nightmare King Grim, and then break, and then you have to beat Pure Vessel, and that's before even going into the final one, which is Absolute Radiance, which is the first time you fight that boss. And you only unlock that in the God Home to practice on once you get to it once. And there are 42 bosses in that gauntlet, and it's just absolutely insane. So I was trying it because I really wanted the platinum for that game. It's like probably one of my favorite games, but yeah, I just couldn't get it, so I put it down, and so I probably won't play that one for a little while. I've got 91% on the trophies. Similarly to this game that I'm playing right now, I have 91% on Dark Souls 2 as well. I got Dark Souls 2 to a point where I could platinum as well, but there are a bunch to get the platinum. You have to grind a bunch of Covenant items, and there are a little bit less to do than Dark Souls 3, but the actual grinding itself is worse than Dark Souls 3, and I did Dark Souls 3 because it was my favorite and the first one of these games that I did, and I really wanted to platinum it, but I probably won't do that for this game, so probably sitting at 91% trophy for Hollow Knight and Dark Souls 2 for the near future, so that's another reason why I'm probably not going to do Hollow Knight for a while. But maybe some point, I am planning to do... So I've got my stream schedule out now. I'm playing Dark Souls 2 now. I'm going to do Dark Souls 3 after this. Then I'm going to do Sekiro. Yeah, of course. And then probably once I get my PC, I'm going to do Elden Ring. A lot of which I might be playing with Aiden. He might show up, at least in the background of some streams if I'm streaming there. And then Night Rain. I've got a couple people, including Aiden, who I want to play Night Rain with. But for the DLC for Hollow Knight, it basically adds one kind of like quest line, which adds a boss, and once you wrap that up, there's one quest line, and then there's a place called God Home. And that's what the DLC adds. And so the quest line is the Nightmare Troop comes into town in the main area, and that adds, once you finish that, you get this little charm that is like a baby Grim kind of that like follows you around and like spits attacks at your enemies. It's a really cool charm. That's unique to the DLC, and then it unlocks Troop Leader Grim, boss at the end of that DLC, who is probably it's first time playing it, probably one of the hardest Souls-like bosses. It's definitely up there with like Melania and Orphan of Kos and yeah. So and it's also probably it's absolutely insane, and it probably is also one of my favorite fights. And just the character is so cool. I got him tattooed on my ankle with some other Hollow Knight tattoos. But it kind of starts to feel like a dance. Once you get you have to do it over and over and over and over and over again. But after you get the rhythm down, it's kind of like, it's almost like a dance, which is so cool. Like, those are some of the coolest boss fights. I swear to fucking God, was it really just down here the whole time? I'm such an idiot. Oh my God. The last 20 minutes I've been looking for this bonfire, and it's literally right under the platform. Oh my God. So you fight Grim, and once you beat Grim, you get a trophy for that, and then the troop leaves town. You kind of beat the DLC little storyline. There's also this weird insect-like lady in the troop there, where there's a character in Hollow Knight called Leg Eater, and he gives you these 3 charms, like Breakable Strength, Breakable Greed, and Breakable something else. And there's a charm that if you equip them, it gives you like increased strength or more runes or something, but they like break after use. But if you don't use those and you save them, the DLC adds this character, this NPC that like swallows them and like regurgitates them back out, and it's Unbreakable Strength, Unbreakable Greed, and whatever the third one was, and then basically they turn into permanent, whatever they're called, charms or whatever, which are some of the best in the game, along with the little baby Grim guy that you get. And then, because Hollow Knight, you have the Dream Nail in that game, you can go back to the Grim fight where he's sleeping upside down, and you do the Dream Nail on him, kind of like you do on other bosses in the game once you've killed them, and then that unlocks Nightmare King Grim, who is red in appearance and has one of the sickest boss entrances. And it does two masks of damage every time he hits you, and is like kind of the same move set for the most part, but there's some slight differences that make it a little bit harder, and so that's Nightmare King Grim, and he's so hard, he's sick. And then it unlocks Godhome, so that is basically an area where you can refight bosses that you fought. So if you unlock a boss in the main game, it unlocks it in Godhome. And so basically you can refight the bosses over again and basically practice them over and over again. And it also adds the Pantheons. So there are 5 Pantheons, and they're basically boss gauntlets, so you have to fight the bosses from the game back to back to back. And there will be like a little wellspring in between a few of them where you can heal your masks back up and change your little crests or whatever. But it doesn't save your progress, so every time you go back in, you have to do it again. And at the end of each Pantheon, there is a new boss that you haven't seen yet. I believe brothers Oro and Mato, Paintmaster Shio, and then Nail Sage Sly, who is an NPC in the game. So are the brothers. They are the ones that help you upgrade your weapon, and like learn the secret nail arts. So that you unlock those, and you can Pantheon of the Master, Pantheon of the Artist, and Pantheon of the Sage. And then once you beat those, and some of these are trophies or achievements. And once you beat those, you get the 4th one, which is the Pantheon of the Night. And that one has probably the harder bosses up until that point in the gauntlet, and then at the end you unlock Pure Vessel, which is an upgraded version of the Hollow Knight, which is the final boss in the game, but he's in his original form. He's like all white, and he's got like his white armor. And he does 2-point health things of damage too. Yeah. And then that's a trophy. And then the final Pantheon is the Pantheon of the Hollow Nest, which is what I was just saying. It has every boss you fought in the game, including 2 unique versions of bosses you fought in the game that you haven't fought before, and those are Sisters of Battle, which is an upgrade to the Mantis Lords fight, where there are all 3 of them attack at the same time, and they go extra fast. And then Winged Nosk, which Nosk is one of the bosses in the game that has like a little fake Hollow Knight. And then he's flying around the arena, and that's a new version of his boss. Yeah, the Mantis Lords, that is those are a really strong staple fight. I would say like the Mantis Lords for me in Hollow Knight are the equivalent of like Ornstein and Smo and Dark Souls 1, or like Genichiro and Sekiro, like that like classic mid-game boss challenge that you have to overcome, and that way you really like learn the game a little bit more, and they're really fun. That's another boss that feels like dancing, and it was like on max when you fight the Sisters of Battle. It was like so cool. And then at the very, very, very end of the final boss gauntlet, it unlocks Absolute Radiance, which is a harder version of Radiance, who is the secret final boss of Hollow Knight, where it does like also 2 health bars of damage and has like new animations and stuff, which you can only unlock in Godhome as a boss fight when you have fought, like at least fought it once, which requires getting to the end of a 42 boss gauntlet. So that's the DLC. One of the annoying things about it is that it's one of the only games that you need to get the DLC trophies to platinum. Like, you can't get the platinum without doing the DLC, which is kind of annoying. And I think the DLC came out afterwards, so I don't know how they did that, but yeah, that's the Hollow Knight DLC. So it adds a fair few unique bosses. The best one being Grim. He's my favorite. Yeah, it was probably something like that. Like I might have been able to get the base version and then get the platinum off the base version. I wish I'd known that. But my game, it's bundled in, and so you need to do the DLC trophies too, which is, I think, the first Pantheon, the third Pantheon, the fourth Pantheon, and then the last one. And then also, like, doing the Grim questline and beating Grim and all that is included in the platinum. And then also for getting all of the charms, you probably have to do those charms from the DLC too. So as I've been yapping away, I've been exploring this area of the gutter. We've come here I've been lighting up these as much as possible. I think we are about to get the second bonfire in this area. So this is where the second bonfire is. But yeah, Hollow Knight is an awesome game. I remember seeing it for the first time on like Pinterest and just like thought it was artistically so freaking cool. And I'm really, really glad I ended up playing it. And Silksong is awesome too. It did not disappoint. I don't understand why so many people were complaining about how hard it is. I mean, it is hard, but Hollow Knight was too. Like, a lot of people started playing that game because it was pretty and they liked the aesthetic. And then, I mean, like, with what I just described for the content of it, like, once you get farther in the game, it really is not an easy game. It's like, really demanding, just like these games. So I feel like Silksong didn't really stray that much from that. If you've actually like played through and done all of Hollow Knight, like it was a little bit more difficult at the beginning because they would have like regular enemies and stuff doing like 2 points of damage, and like maybe that was a little much. That's fair. But like in general, I didn't feel like it was the bosses were pretty natural progressions from the first game and their design and stuff. So you can come over to this little area over here, and there's a bunch of these bugs, and then there's a giant one. And I think she dropped something cool. Yeah. I guess I didn't notice too much, but I would agree with that. But also at the same time, like, it is a sequel game. Like, I mean, presumably you might have played Hollow Knight before playing Silksong, so you might have some idea. But that's just my opinion. I mean, there are some differences in, like, the movement and stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's like, it's a good thing. It's hard. It's like a... Yeah, I agree. It's like a natural upgrade from the first game, in my opinion, like, which is cool. You kill this person, it drops really something stupid. More items. Yeah, and there's a few, like, differences in the movement. Like, you're obviously playing Hornet and not the little Hollow Knight guy. Oh, well, welcome back. Like, she attacks diagonally rather than, like, straight up and down. But they add crests in the game that have it be the same moveset as the original Hollow Knight if you want it to be that. But I think it's really cool, like, all the different pogoing and grappling and stuff like that in the game. It's just, I don't know, for me it just felt like if after playing all of Hollow Knight and after doing everything I wanted in that game, like, if I were to imagine what a sequel would be, I feel like Silksong pretty much nailed it. And what I would picture in my head as, like, a sequel. So I was pretty happy with it. So I pretty much... Oh, God. Yeah, I like, the OG moveset was good. I think that's the Hunter, right? The Hunter one was good. My favorite is the Reaper. I like that one a lot, because you do, like, this big... You do this, it's, like, really good for pogoing. You do this, like, kind of, like, slower, big, heavy slash thing. Oh, the Wanderer. You've been playing the Wanderer one? The one that makes you like Hollow Knight? Oh, you like Reaper too? Yeah, Reaper's my favorite. Yeah, the Wanderer is the one that makes it like the OG moveset, so that players that want like the original feel of it without kind of having it be changed. It makes your reach a little bit shorter, but she can attack like straight down rather than diagonally down for people who prefer that for like pogoing and stuff. And jump over here and grab some resin. Oh god. Alright. Wow, I survived that with almost no damage. That's crazy. So I bring my torch all the way down here and like I'm lighting up as I go. I think we're pretty much in the Black Gulch. Next step. Ooh, that's important. Fragrant branch of yore. Yeah, right here. This is not a boss. It's the connection to the next area. Yeah, I think there's the Hunter, the Reaper, the Wanderer, and the Beast. I think those are the 4 I got. There might be more, but I only got those 4 so far, and I beat the game. So, I think a lot of the content in that game is missable. Okay, so here we are in the Black Gulch. We are at a run back to one of the next main boss in this game, and who we need to light up a primal bonfire for, and there's also some stuff in this area connected to one of the DLCs that I want to talk about, but I'm just going to run to the bathroom real quick, and I will be right back. Alright, we're back. So, this is a continuation of the Gulch, and probably one of the more frustrating, heinous areas of Dark Souls 2. It's definitely like that area in Dark Souls 2. For such a small, little, tightly packed area, though, there's a lot going on in here, so I'm going to try and do my best to explain it as I go through. First of all these little statue things, as you've been noticing me move throughout, shoot poison at you and do poison buildup. They also can knock you out of your attack animation, which is annoying, so if you want, you can come through and break them. I'm sure it's also fucking with my weapon durability, but there's not really like a lot of like enemy type people that you have to fight. Down is also one of those. There's a little turtle guy who has these, and you can't break those, and it moves around. So that's to know. Also over here, where this little sign is, there's a drop down. And this is one of the areas that you find Lucatiel of Mira. If you're doing the trophy where you summon Lucatiel to the different bosses and complete her quest line, this is going to be one of the areas that you find her to talk to.
Still on the road, are you?
So if
Sorry
you want to get the
have
platinum,
burdened you so. This is for you, by way of an apology.
which gives you the Ring of Steel Protection +1.
I found my thoughts growing hazy. My memories are fading, oldest first. The curse is doing its work upon me. I am frightened. Terribly so. If everything should fade, what will be left of me? I had an older brother. We learned to fence together. He became the most decorated swordsman in all of Mira. I never even compared to him. In fact, I never beat him. Not once. But then, one day,
I wonder if she's talking about the other NPC that we met in the Huntsman's Copse.
Now I'm
that's her
certain
brother.
that he was taken by the curse.
Because they both said they're from Mira.
If only someone would hear my tale. My brother must have come here, too.
Yeah, okay. That must be her brother.
Soon I may forget even about him.
Interesting.
If only someone would hear my tale.
Okay, so make sure you run through and exhaust the dialogue.
Soon I may forget even about him.
And then just kind of lands a shortcut back. So in these puddles, there will be those enemies right there that try and pop out and grab you. They're really gross looking. They're pretty easy to kill, but like if you're in the puddle when they jump out, they'll do a grab attack. So it's another thing that makes this area difficult. Also at the end of this area, there are up to 3 different invader NPCs that can invade. So just something to note. I think it's this is an area that Forlorn can invade, and then there's, I forgot the other 2, but they can invade and make your life miserable on the way back to the boss. And then coming over here, there will be giant worm things that come out of the walls. There's 2 of them, and they could do that. So watch out for that. All sorts of traps and shit that are popping out every 2 steps, and it's not even a long area. So you got Lucatiel, you got invader NPCs. You got these grabby guys. Yep, there he is. There's my pal. So he invades at this point. The other 2 invade at right before the boss fog gate. There's 2 different ones that can invade. Also, just so you know, there are a couple summon signs on the way to the boss. So there are some summons you can do for this boss too. I'm definitely not going to do that this run for this boss. And then coming over here, I don't know if you saw it when I got launched by one of the worms, but there's another drop down over here. And then there's this wall right here. You need a specific key to get into this wall, but I think, I can't remember where it is actually. But basically this is connected to the DLC, so for the Crown of the Sunken King DLC, you need to come down here with the key, you need to open this door. Inside there's going to be 2 giants, and they drop a different key, and you need to pick up that key from these giants to do the Sunken King DLC. You're going to need to take that key later on and go down the middle of the well where the ladders are before you get to the Grave of Saints, and there's going to be a door to unlock with that key, and that's where you get the item you need for the Sunken King DLC. So this is an important area for that. I'm just going to go off the cliff. Oop. Or is this... is this where it is? Oh, yeah. The fuck? Yeah, this is where it is. Okay. You go one even farther down, and it's these giants right here in the cave. So if you killed, I think the first one, or I can't remember. But they dropped the Forgotten Key, I think it's called. And over here is the elevator that brings you back up. There's also a chest down here, I think, for an item. Not the first one, it's the second one. Yeah. Alright, so you do get a soul of a giant from here, which is one of the souls. If you get up to 5 souls of a giant, you can use those to fight a boss later and make it more manageable. So you get one of the souls of a giant here, and then you get the Forgotten Key if you have the DLC installed. So then you can come in through here. There's a chest down here. Ring of the Giants +1, which increases your poise, and then a petrified dragon bone, which is an important item, but I can't remember exactly what you use it for at the moment. If you come over here, be careful where you step. There's a few silver talisman, and then this little thing is the elevator to get back up. So that's the boss gate right there. I'm being invaded by Woodland Child Victor, which is one of the 2 people I was talking about. If you come over here, there's a path, This is a secret path, and there's a guy that you can use a Fragrant Branch of Yore on. So I died, but that guy that's blocking the path is now gone, and behind him is going to be a secret hidden bonfire, which makes the boss run back so much easier. Yep, here's Forlorn again. Coming to make my life that much more difficult. He pops up everywhere. This is the bonfire. I can't use it at the moment because of Forlorn, but I have lit it, so I can now fast travel to it. Squish and heal. Yeah, that's not gonna help you, buddy. Bye-bye. Alright. That's one possible invader gone. There's another Pharaoh's Lockstone over here too, which is a good item. Alright, so I might get invaded, but I'm gonna do the boss run. So here we go. Yeah, me too. Me too. This is a very lovely boss. So, I think this boss is a very good example for me of what I find disappointing about the boss design and progression in Dark Souls 2. This is one of the 4 main bosses that you need to light a primal bonfire for the main story. And it is literally pretty much just the Adjudicator from Demon Souls. That's it. They kind of just copied the same boss design from Demon Souls. And this is Dark Souls 2. So, you know, at this point, you're kind of expecting a little bit better boss design, like where Dark Souls 1 took what Demon Souls started with and kind of worked on increasing it. This is, I don't know, it's like it's kind of like Leechmonger or Adjudicator from Demon Souls, and it's one of the main bosses of Souls. So I don't know. I don't really like this boss. Oh wow, he one-shotted me. That was interesting. I wasn't paying attention. He just one-shotted me. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like that's kind of it. You just kind of like. Why can't I use bonfire? So as you see, one of the summons is here, which is Lucatiel, who will help you with this fight. I think there's another one up there. I think there's 2 summons. Yeah, Woodland Child Gully. There's Victor, Gully, and then horrible are the invaders. Besides the fact that it's just like gross, it's like a ton of humans trapped in a cage, but it's not like gross in like a oh cool kind of way like Bloodborne. It's like so strat for this guy is just move around him in a circle, do your damage, try not to get hit. Try not to get hit with that one shot that you did from him. He does do one of those explosion things. He spews purple liquid that poisons kind of like the area, and apparently that's the attack. He does a big smash attack, which I guess has one-shotted me twice now, so just watch out for that attack. But that's what you do for this boss. God, they're just gonna keep invading me. I don't even know what to look out for yet for that attack that's one-shotting me, because I feel like his movements are pretty similar. Watch out for the fire too. I almost just died standing in the fire. I think that's a grab. If you're really stuck on this boss and really need help, you can do the 2 summons. But it's really, this area is very difficult to even get the summons into the boss room with you, because you have to like go through a lot of that poison and shit. I'm gonna draw him back away from the fire. I think that big cleaver chop one must be the one that he was doing to kill me. That or that. Yeah. Ooh. I didn't even know you could do that. Alright. So as you saw there, I took off his arm. I didn't know you could even do that. He was pretty much almost dead. And I attacked into one of his arms and it fell off. That was weird. Yeah, it's kind of cool because you could run a boss like so many times and you wouldn't even like necessarily pick up on something like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that stuff too. I feel like I've been noticing more of that stuff, like replaying games I've played before, and I really enjoy it. There's a chest there, and if you come through here, you'll notice 2 different things. One, this is the second primal bonfire, or whatever order you did the bosses in. This is one of the primal bonfires. And then over here, you'll see this, like, cup type of thing. And this is where you transport to the DLC. So I think in the base game before the DLC was out, this must have just been like an interesting area. But this brings you, once you do what I was saying, when I got the key, you bring it down, grab the item, you can come here and it brings you into the Sunken King DLC. So that's one of 3 DLCs that you can access. So I'm going to light the Primal Bonfire, and then you can use it to fast travel back to Majula. So I think that is, 3 bosses today on the stream so far? We did Skeleton Lords, we did Executioner's Chariot, 4. Executioner's Chariot, Royal Rat, Vanguard, and now the Run. I don't think I have enough souls to level up yet.
I only...
Yeah, I need 149,000, so I'm almost there. I might have some that I could crush. I probably don't have a lot, but there's not really much else to do with them, so...
There, less.
So I explained to people last stream kind of like the nuances of leveling up in this game versus the others, and I explained the ADP stat. I'm looking pretty good with everything level-wise, so I don't really need to put too much thought into it. This is my third run through of the game, and I'm still doing like so much damage to bosses, so with this build, so I'm chilling. So yeah, we've got two of the main bosses to unlock Drang Lake down so far, and let's see, we didn't do that. I don't think the next rat boss isn't in that area. So we're gonna go here. The Harvest Valley. So there is an NPC right up here. Similarly to some of the other NPCs that we've met along the way.
Copse, an ore-stone trader.
She is a smith.
I travel
not
about
a smith.
collecting rare
She's
stones, which I sell
a merchant,
to
so she sells some stuff to you.
I never
And
planned
if
to
you
visit
exhaust
this
her
godforsaken
dialogue, she'll go
place.
back to Majula, and then you can
But I
find her
don't
back
know.
there.
I must have... But now that I'm here, I've been scouting around for rare bits. Oh, don't look at me like that. Many of these stones are quite useful. For instance, certain stones are used in smithing.
She sells a lot of the stones that you can use for
now your ears prick up.
different smithing
I've extras
and like
if you
modifying
can pay.
your equipment.
This is my trade, after all.
So like I
I
said,
came here in search of rare stones.
exhaust
but
her dialogue and she'll move to Majula.
the place is nothing like I was told. All this poison, and you can't get very far inside. Don't just go haplessly wandering about. These stones may look all the same, but to the trained eye, none of the Drang Lake.
Blah 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 stones.
How is it that I ended up here?
So another interesting thing is
It's
her,
funny.
like every other NPC we've
I
talked
can't
to,
seem
doesn't
to
really have a
remember.
memory of why she is here, or how she got here at all.
I've searched every nook. Perhaps we'll meet again. I've searched.
So when you get
Perhaps
to the
we'll
point
meet
where
again.
she'll say, perhaps we
I
meet
suppose
again,
it's about time I moved shop.
she'll say she's going to move her shop, and then she goes back to Majula, where you can conveniently access her there with all the other merchants we've collected. Alright, so this area is not I don't find it as like heinous as the Gulch, but it is an area that is filled with poison, like the Gulch. So there's a lot of poison buildup in this area. This whole walk through here, where you can see like a ton of items and stuff, does poison buildup damage to you. In addition to damaging your health slowly over time, it also degrades your equipment durability faster. But there's a lot of goodies in here, and I like items, so I'm going to run through quickly. You can see the different items you can get in here. There are these crawly people. These skeletons you can kill. They don't have a summoner. Crawly people are not that tough. But those big guys down there are a lot more sturdy and tough to fight, especially when you're poisoned. So I try and avoid them. Got a parry on me. That's gonna kill me because of the poison. Well done, skeleton. Well done. Two things I almost never do in Dark Souls: use magic or parry. This is gonna be some interesting. No, I just know it. Alright, that's good. Don't give up, skeleton. Funny, funny, funny. So I'm gonna wait till he puts his shield down, because he already got me once. So the skeletons drop Titanite shards, the crawling people drop bleed stones. There's an item over here. Gotcha this time, buddy. Parry that. Oh wow. Okay. Those big guys do those big dark blasts and stuff at you. It's pretty much expected that you're gonna probably die a couple times if you do what I'm doing and just like run through the area. But I see an item and I just can't help myself. So we're going to run straight through, grab that last one that's under him, and then we're going to go in that hole there. I was baiting you, did you know that? I knew you were going to say something. No, you're good. I'm doing my tutorial. It was intentional, my friend. He got me again with the parry. So, yeah, I got parried again. He got me. He got me. That skeleton's been playing Sekiro, he has. So as you can see in that, no, they don't really. It's very unique. Very rare. I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. I did my big hammer thing on him, and he parried it. I was like, oh. So yeah, through that room is the second sighting of that merchant guy that I told you about, who you can sell stuff to. This is the only guy in Dark Souls 2 that you can sell stuff to. And it's the first one where you can sell things in general. Die. And there's a chest in here. Yes, you do know me, my friend. We've met before. sell some of these things that I have like a ton of. Probably have more in my item storage. Many deals. Down here, you can also come under here. Then there's another chest with a fire seed and a divine blessing. And now we can grab this. It's a torch and progress. This next area is also difficult to move through. There's going to be these fire witches who are just blasting you. Yeah. I feel the same. Like, I feel like it doesn't feel like too overwhelming or terrible in that way, but it is challenging, and there are certainly annoying things about it. Like these fire witches, for example. So you can pull this up here. And it opens the gate. Don't take those witches for granted, even if you like get past their like large radius that they can attack, because they have this like really like quick draw fire spell that they do really fast, even if you get up in their face and you're about to kill them. So I've died a number of times that way. You come in here, this is the next bonfire. So, coming out here, there's going to be 3 different of the lizards, the crystal lizards for items, and they purposely spread out. So, you usually can only get 1 per run. There's also a bunch of little holes you can fall into, and more of that poison to explore. If you go over to the right there, that's the way to progress up to the next area. If you come over to the left, there's a kind of like small little area with a bunch of these enemies, and a bunch of items you can get. These guys are not staggerable for me, so I have to be a little more careful. But basically the items are in here, hidden behind horse. I have a horde coming after me. This might take a couple runs. I love how I literally just bully roll them out of my way. I'm like, move. I got places to be. Large Titanite shard, that's a good upgrade item. I'm simply unbothered by their presence. Item here. Here, and this also runs out to this item and runs back to the area we just where we came in there. I think there was one more I didn't get. On the end there. Yep. And then back through here. I didn't die, thankfully. Can come up here, and there's gonna be... I don't think he can break that. He's got to break it, but there's another big guy that shoots those orbs. They do a lot of damage. He doesn't even use a physical attack. That's interesting. Coming back out now, we get another shot on those lizards. Pick a different one to follow. And if you come up past this guy to the left, there's going to be a drop down and a chest. And then a drop down into the poison area where there's going to be more items. But it's really difficult to see down here. There are skeletons, apparently. But there's going to be a ladder here at the end. It brings you back up to the main area again. So, coming over to where you progress, there's another giant expanse where there's lots of items on the ground and the poison. The Titanite slab, that's a really important upgrade item for a weapon reaching its final upgrade. Oops. If you come over into here, there's like there's a shard for upgrading your Estus, which is again another really important item. You can jump in here. This is another spice. Dodge through here. There's a chameleon spell, a dragon charm, a washing pole, and a titanite shard. Those are all fairly good items. So, lots of goodies in this area. I'm gonna run back through to the bonfire just to heal up all the Estus I used getting through that area, and then get the final crystal lizard. This one's the hardest, I think. It's got a head start. Yeah, I missed. Yep, I missed it. Damn. Let me do that again. Bruh. I even got ahead of him this time. What the heck? Alright. Large titanite shard, and pale stone. Alright, so there are those fire witch people throwing stuff at you. There are these like ogre guys. Over here there's a side area to go into, and there's a ninja guy. There's going to be more of them throughout this area. These pots also do poison damage if you break them, so watch out for that. freezing out. That was weird. I just saw one of those ninja guys come out from the water, so I thought it was safe. We've just crossed into the Earthen Peak area from the Harvest Peak. Of course, the pots do poison damage. Harvest Valley, I'm sorry. Because why wouldn't they, right? Of course they do. Yeah, you're getting bombed by fire, running past enemies, trying to get backstabbed by these ninja guys, and on top of that, the pots do poison. Oh, where am I supposed to go? Oh, down here? Stay away over there. There's also an item down here, repair powder. That's a very good item. You can come up over here and you're gonna find Lucatiel again. This is the 4th spot that you can find her in.
My thoughts.
The good thing is the enemies seem to also take poison damage.
What is this curse? The question rings in loss. If I were told that by killing you I would be freed of this curse, then I would draw my sword without hesitation. I don't want to die. I want to exist. I would sacrifice anything at all for this. It shames me, but it is the truth. Sometimes I feel obsessed with this insignificant thing called self.
Come on, girl's got identity issues.
Even so, I am compelled to preserve it.
Getting philosophical
Am I wrong
on us.
to feel so? Surely you do the same in my shoes. Maybe we're all cursed. From the moment we're born.
Wow.
Sometimes I feel even so
you need to go to
I
a
am
therapist.
compelled to preserve.
So over here there's another Pharos Lockstone spot. Lights up an area right next to Lucatiel. And there's a chest inside. The Poison Bite Ring and the Soul of a Proud Knight. So the Poison Bite Ring is really important for this area, especially because it decreases the rate at which poison builds up. Back around here, going up this way is the main way that you go in. These jars also do poison damage. You can look down there, that's where we just were. Over here you can roll. Oh god. Yeah, I'm fucking so excited. I'm so excited, guys. I'm gonna be playing PC gaming very, very soon. I got an ultra-wide monitor that Aiden sent me, which was a great deal. I'm buying his old PC off of him. And I'm very, very excited to get into PC gaming. I might be doing some collabs too with Miranda, who is another streamer. I know her from a mutual friend in grad school, and she wants to also play Night Ring and Elden Ring and do some stuff. Her tag is Room McGuire, ROOMCGUIRE, so go give her a follow. She's super cool. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Aiden knows a lot more about PC gaming than I do. He's going to help me get it all set up. Streaming on an ultra-wide. Well, I'm also going to buy, worst case scenario is I'm probably going to buy Zane's the old monitor thing, so that as my second monitor. So, I mean, it might not be as crisp as the ultra wide, but if for some reason that can't do streaming, then I can do it on the second monitor. Obviously, I'll still be able to do PlayStation streaming if I wanted to do that, but I'll probably do more PC streaming because I got a camera so that I can be on camera too, and the Sony PlayStation 1 is like $150, so. There's an item here, hidden in the back. Another skeptic spice. I think that's for magic builds in this game. I don't really do that, so I don't use it. If you jump over here, god damn it. Somehow I survived. That's crazy. Well, you have to jump. I don't think I tried rolling and you can't just roll, but if you jump where that little other bug is, there's another item thing to get. But yeah, I'm super stoked. I'm gonna do a run through of Elden Ring. I'm very, very excited about that. I'm also super excited about streaming Dark Souls 3, and also having some people to play Night Rain with. It'll be really, really fun. I have like pretty much fully completed that game. I have almost 200 hours in Night Rain. I definitely have over that in Elden Ring, but god dang it. But yeah, so that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I actually just started getting into PC gaming for the very first time, I think, last year. It's actually the first time... Like, I would play computer games when I was growing up, back in the early 2000s, but I've always been a console gamer since I was, like, 8 years old. So it's kind of last year was my first time kind of playing PC. I got Steam, and I started with the original Elder Scrolls games because I was on a Elder Scrolls kick, and I went back after. I've been playing Skyrim since high school, and I played it multiple times. It's one of my favorite games. But I went back and I played the original Oblivion on Xbox 360. And then I kind of found out that there were even more early games, so I went and played Morrowind on Xbox, which was awesome. That was so much fun. And then I went back even farther, and I got Steam, and I did Elder Scrolls Arena, the very first one from 1994, and then Daggerfall from 1996 on Steam. So those were like some of my first PC gaming in 2024, which was really, really fun. Arena was awesome. I loved that game. It was so cool to kind of play the first Elder Scrolls. Daggerfall I wasn't as much as a fan of. That was the only one in the series that I think I wasn't like completely excited about. But I think it's because it was in an era where they were making some upgrades from the first Elder Scroll, so it was a little bit more like 3D-ish or 2D. Like they were trying to make it, the map and everything, a little bit more expansive. But it was still obviously like a super fucking old game when I was playing it. And so that kind of combination made it just kind of harder and more complicated to navigate. And on top of that, I feel like it had like the hardest entry. Like the kind of like what you had to do for like entering that game and getting it going was like much more of a task, I guess, than some of the other Elder Scrolls games. So I didn't end up finishing that. But honestly, I put as many hours into Daggerfall as I did into Arena, But Arena, like that amount of hours that I put in was enough to like play through the whole storyline and beat the game, like the main story. Whereas Daggerfall, I barely even touched the main story. Like I couldn't even figure out how to get into it, and I put like that many hours into it. So anyway, those were my first PC games, and then just recently that's what I mean right here with that quick fire attack that those witches do. Like she did that big overhead fire attack, and then I went to attack her, and she immediately does like a really quick fire attack thing, so watch out for that. Then I've been into the Final Fantasy series. I've never played any of the Final Fantasy games really before this past year, so I tried out a little bit of 16, and then I went back and I did basically Final Fantasy 1, 2, and then I'm on the end game of 3 and 4 right now, and I've also like tinkered around with 5 and 6 and kind of saw what they look like. I did the intro for 6. So I got those all pixel remastered on Steam as well, and so I've been playing those a little bit, and that's been really fun. So yeah, that's kind of my intro to PC gaming, but I'm about to level up super hard. So there's a chest down here and an item, but also some annoying enemies. Oh wow, we're at the 3-hour mark. That's crazy. It's 11 o'clock. Alright, time to reach the next area. Or next part of this area. Bro. So annoying because you can't even like, she does that ridiculous distance range attack that melts you, but like if you try and like melee her, she'll wicked fast quick draw you right in your face and then you're dead. So. So this is a trap. It's just rubbish. Oh, this is the boss, isn't it? I forgot about this. I thought Mytha, the Baneful Qeen, was the next boss. Yeah, this is one of the worst bosses in this game as far as boss design. Also, lore-wise, because as I was kind of talking about in my other stream, Dark Souls 1 and 3 do a lot with like demon lore and culture, and I feel like Dark Souls 1 and 3 kind of have a pretty good continuation on that. And then Dark Souls 2 is just like, okay, demons are a thing in this series, and then they just kind of throw some random ass shit in here, and that's supposed to be what demons are, but there's no actual connection to the lore and the story of this game. So, I don't know. So, the Covetous demon is supposed to be of the demon race. Kind of like, you know how in Dark Souls 1 there was like the Titanite demon and the Centipede demon and the Capra demon and Taurus demon, all that. But there's really no like lore or story connection to demons in Dark Souls 2, and it doesn't really connect to the storyline. Whereas Dark Souls 3, there's a clear continuation of the Izalith area, and where you can see like lore-wise what happened to all the demons. This is just, I don't know. So, yeah, so this is supposed to be a demon. This is spitting attack. He rolls around a lot. Does a tail slap and a couple claw attacks. If you get too close to him, he just like rolls over. It's so bad. This Jabba the Hutt ass looking thing. Yeah, that's the boss. I literally shit on it the whole time I fought it. And that will be in the YouTube video, so as it should. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. Lore-wise, the connection to demons doesn't make sense, and just in general, the boss design and fight itself is terrible. I literally forgot it was there. I was just like, okay, Mytha, Baneful Qeen is next. Where at least she, like, I feel like that boss fight is at least a little cooler in the design, a little more interesting than some of these other bosses. And she even has, like, a cool dynamic where, like, the whole arena around her is filled with poison, but you can, like, do something to make the poison go away and make the fight easier and stuff. And she looks kind of like Medusa, like the aesthetic is pretty cool. So that one's at least a little bit of a better fight. There are a bunch of these guys with their electro stabs. There's also a lot of like those ninja guys throughout this area. You can get the Grave Warden set from this guy. Ninjas jumping around. At least they look like ninjas. They're like headless. Come on, pick up the egg. They're mannequins, I guess. You can get the mannequin set off of them. So, coming over here, you can go down the stairs here, and there's a chest over here, but there's another ninja guy, and the fire lady can shoot at you, and the arrow guy can shoot at you. And I think it's, okay, these are the mannequin claws. Right? Oh no, that's what he just dropped. No, it's rubbish. I thought it was rubbish. It's a trap. Also, I think there's a way to get behind here too, but I don't really remember how. I think you might have to come from above or something. So up the ladder. Another one of these Grave Wardens, I think they're called. walking through here, this fog gate, it's not the boss, it's actually a bonfire. This is where we can get the next bonfire. And we come over here and kill everyone. Oh. Well, at least the bonfire is working. Toggle light torch. So, this is what I was saying. The next boss, there's a giant poison arena all around her. But if you come over here and you go behind this Grave Warden guy with a torch, you can die. You can set that windmill on fire with your torch, and that will actually like clear up the poison in the area that it's like churning up, and it also like her whole arena, which is filled with poison, will then be clear. So I'm gonna have to kill these mannequins. And I'll kill the Grave Warden too. So now you can set the light on the windmill. Lights up on fire, and then it will clear that poison away. So there are more mannequins up here. There's a bunch more actually. There's also a trap over here that shoots poison darts, and mannequin mask. Also, if you look down below, you can. You're gonna drink acid first. You can drop down from up here, and you'll land back on the like bridge that you took to get over there. I think you can also, I'm not sure. This might also be where I think you drop down on the other bridge. Oh. Well, you could have gotten there anyway. But this is where the archer is. I think there's a way to drop down and get that item over there. Maybe it's further above. Man, I hate these guys. Where'd this guy go? There's 3 of them? They're everywhere. I pretty much got the whole mannequin set, though. Alright, I think I'll probably, let's see. I'll probably end stream tonight with Mytha. So she's probably going to be the last. I'll get the third bonfire in this area. There's one at the top. And I'll wrap up this place. I'll wrap up her fight, and that's where I'll end for tonight, I think. Yeah, sounds like a plan. These guys are so annoying. So going this way, I think this is the side area. You can grab a flame butterfly. You can jump over here where this fire witch is. Around the corner there's a chest and another fire witch. I'm actually choosing not to aggro her because I feel like it will increase my chance of getting this item, which is just rubbish. Alright, we can come down here too. And then down here. And then down here. That's locked. The mannequin's gonna come out from over there. But you can actually... I think the ground here breaks. I'm just gonna move on through here. It's so annoying that all these guys before I do any more exploring. Right. So this railing is breakable. There's another item over here. There's also a lever thing right here, which is a shortcut back to this area where I came up. If you come around here, there is an NPC over here. This is Laddersmith Gilligan.
Shush! You idiot! Stay quiet. I'm on the run. Don't give me away. You're a fugitive too, eh? Yeah? Why else would you be here? It's got death written all over it. You want to climb down here? I can lend you a ladder. But, how much can you offer me? Why, yep. I'm trying to help you, you know. Have you no gratitude? Downright rude, really. I've got a soft heart, so I let you off this once. All right.
You can pay him 2,000 souls here, and he'll build you a ladder right here. Also, if you exhaust his dialogue and stuff, he'll go back to Majula, and he will be posted up in front of the well that we roll down to get to the Grave of Saints.
Go on ahead.
And he'll build you 3 different sized ladders down that well. can also buy some items from him.
Psst. Well, and, you know, and I thought only human women were so petty.
He will misogynistically talk about Mytha, the Baneful Queen here.
That creature, she was human once, you know. Yeah. In fact, she was wed to the prince of that nearby castle. But her husband? He had feelings for another. The princess was desperate and sought eternal beauty, hoping that it would restore the prince's
what castle
affection.
Are you talking about? It's just a
You see
little
what I mean?
wooden hut.
Before long, the princess's ire transformed her into a monster. Now, listen here. When do you think this all happened? Long ago, when this very land was called something else. We say Drangleic now, but countless kingdoms have risen and fallen on this very spot. And this won't be the last. Oh no.
Okay.
That damned hag just can't let her old flame go. She's going to get us all burned. God, I'm not going to die in this dump. God.
So when he gets to the point where he said he's not going to die in this dump, that's where his dialogue is exhausted, and he will move to Majula. Don't miss him here. You can come down the ladder. There's a Ferrous Lockstone and Twinkling Titanite. Honestly, even if you didn't pay him to build the ladder, I could have just rolled down here and survived. Thank you, Aiden. I appreciate it. Yes, I try and do, in all of the games, I try and do all of the NPC quest lines stuff. And also in platinuming a lot of these games, or like trying to platinum the games, you kind of need to do a lot of the NPC stuff. For this game specifically, there are a lot of trophies with some of the NPC summons. So like I think Lucatiel, Benhar of Jugo, the map maker guy, and so on, you can get trophies for all of them and like completing their quest line. So if you want to platinum it or like get all the trophies. But yeah, I do that in all the games. Hollow Knight, Silksong, like Dark Souls games. And I like use a lot of guides and like will look up a lot of stuff about the NPCs and stuff so that I can like figure out how to best do it. So yeah. Like, Laddersmith Gilligan there, I think he's one of the NPCs too you get a trophy for. But if you miss him here and don't talk to him, like, there's like, I can't remember. I feel like there was a way around it that I was able to still get him go back to Majula and stuff. But anyway, I appreciate it. Yeah, I like to, part of the reason I want to, like, stream these games is because they're so fun. I've done them so many times, but I know a lot about them. If you come up here, so right down here on this level is the boss fight, but if you come up here and go past this, oh, not in this room. I'll come back to this thing. But up these stairs is the last bonfire. It'll be the upper Earthen Peak bonfire. And I recommend, it's hidden. It's right here in this wall. It's an illusory wall. If you come in here, you can get it, and I recommend you doing it because this is literally just a very, very short cut back to the boss rather than going up past all those mannequins and stuff. You can come in here. This room is kind of annoying. It's got poison. It's got all these bugs. It's got a mimic. This is the first, I think, regular chest in the game that is a mimic. There was a metal one early on that was a mimic. But yeah, he killed me. I thought he was dead, actually. I thought I already killed him. Wait, he did die. Wait, what just happened? Was his death animation to kill me? That was weird. But yeah, that's the first wood. It's weird because usually the wooden ones are the mimics, and then you, like, if a metal one happens to mimic, it's like surprising. But this game actually starts with showing you a metal mimic, and then that's the first one you see. That's I guess I did kill him. Where's the item? Also, this lockstone right here, you can use it to fill this up with water that heals you. So you can come up in this water and it will kind of like fully heal you if you like explore this place and get all poisoned and shit. There is another one of these type of lockstones by that lava place that I was talking about with the Smelter Demon around the corner from that boss fight. There's one of these too. I mean, I killed the Mimic. He's dead, but I don't see the item. That was weird. Maybe it's a glitch or something. I don't know. Or this place is just fucking with me yet again. Alright, so over here, there's this fire lady, there's a mannequin, there's another grave warden, and some of those crawly people. There's an item, and then there's the boss fight. But I'm gonna die, I think, from poison, so I'll run back again. So yeah, I will. I'll beat Mytha tonight, right here, and then I'll probably wrap up my stream. Where are we at right now? We're at almost 3.5 hours. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good for tonight. I'm just gonna draw these guys out. There's one more. Run in. So this is Mytha, just like Medusa. I do very good damage. But there you see the healing fallacy in this game. There's really not, like, I was too close to her. That would have been fine for, like, a Dark Souls 1 heal, but not Dark Souls 2. So, alternatively, you can just do this, and jump down, and you're right here. Come on. She's got that scream attack with magic. She's got a lot of spear attack. Damn it. I can't even get set. As you see, there still is some poison on the outer perimeter on the ground, but basically the whole floor was covered. Yeah, literally, I'm just like... I'm like talking about it and yapping and I'm not locked in. Yeah, so there's still poison on like the outer floor, but the whole arena is covered with poison if you don't light that windmill on fire. All right, I'm gonna lock in here. I'm gonna bring my shield up. I just remembered I usually fight her with a shield, so I can. I don't always do that with bosses. Most of the time I don't, but with her. Wow, she got me with a grab attack. With her, I do it just to manage her spear. Man, for some reason, I am, like, not even getting off the ground here. It's like a 1-2 bop, 1-2 bop. I actually know her moveset, like, very well. The other thing I'm gonna do is... I've died so many fucking times in this place. I have like, a fourth of my health not there, so I'm gonna do that. Alright, there we go. Wow. Fuck this game. so dumb. Like, bro, let me back in. Let me in. Alright, so like obviously as you can see I've talked about it a lot here with like this game you can get knocked out of the bonfire or knocked out of a mansion. This is why I try and like draw the guy out and run in really fast. Somehow I just got knocked out again and just absolutely obliterated. Same run back. I did the same thing. It's very frustrating. Ain't no way that dude runs that fast. I'm coming all the way the fuck back out here. I'm bringing you guys into the corner. You guys can have a fucking timeout. Alright. Bro, give me a sec. I had to deal with all your guards. Get into the middle of the arena, please. Another thing she does, besides screaming and doing that magic thing, is there's a move she does where she throws her head in the middle and then like dives to grab it. So that's another ranged attack to watch out for. And just she has a long range on her spear attacks. That one almost killed me because I was still healing. Spear attacks is why I use a shield in this battle. But I honestly, like, aesthetically, she's a really cool boss. Like, I like the design on this one. And it fits the theme of the place, too. That life gem heals slower than the Estus does. That's the move I mean, where she throws her head there. It does a big magic explosion and then she like jumps to grab it. And that's a grab attack. And that's the fight. Shout out to Killer Aiden for reminding me I had Radiant Soul Gems. Without which I probably would not have won that round. Life gems, excuse me. Thank you for being a proud supporter. There's a handle thing? Oh, you don't really do anything with that. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think that boss is kind of cool. I think that one's cool. That's one of the few cool ones. She's a little bit more fun to fight. Her moveset's unique. And so after Mytha, you hop on this elevator. You come up here, and if I remember correctly, I believe it's the lava place. Yes. Iron Keep. The bonfire is down here. This is the place we were talking about with all those knights and the smelter demon and everything. So I will start my stream next time with this place. I'll run through this area and the next boss, and we'll continue from there. I really appreciate you guys coming out and chatting and hanging out and watching my stream tonight. I had a lot of fun. This was really cool. I might even honestly stream tomorrow night. I mean, my normal schedule is Monday night, so yeah. Hell yeah. I'm really glad you made it too. It made it a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I might be streaming tomorrow night. My normal schedule is Wednesday nights too and Saturday nights, but I'll be around, so stay tuned. Have a good night, everybody.